Hello, I'm Richard. Welcome back to our channel over and over and over again. This is a report on Arsenal women 3, Birmingham City women 0. Hello, I'm Richard. Welcome back to our channel over and over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. This is a report. I know it was a little bit late. The game was played obviously yesterday afternoon. I was a little bit busy, tied up with the men's team in the North London derby, unfortunately, and all through today I've been doing stuff with that as well. So this is the first opportunity I've got to do a little bit of coverage of the match from yesterday afternoon from Boreham Wood. It finished Arsenal women 3, Birmingham City women 0. Really good performance actually from the Arsenal women, and a really good victory as well, which keeps them second place in the league, just a point behind the leaders Manchester United and 2 ahead of Chelsea, although Chelsea of course do have that game in hand. In terms of the team lineup, Arsenal women lined up like this. So Williams was in goal. The back four was Meyer, Williamson, Beattie and McCabe. 3 in midfield, it was Little, Goot and Rord. And then up front, it was Mead, Meyer and Ford. So it was a pretty strong Arsenal side. On the bench as well, there was Jordan Nobbs and Danielle van der Donk as well, were both on the bench. They've been injured and just sort of coming back to fitness. So that was the team that started the game. Arsenal actually they played well from the start. And in actual fact, they should have been an early lead. It was Ford with a strike over the bar after about 10 minutes. Could have given Arsenal an early lead. And then midway through the first half, Arsenal did get a penalty. Beth Mead was bundled over in the box. And it was captain Kim Little who took the penalty. Usually she's very, very reliable from the penalty spot, but on this occasion it was quite a weak penalty. And the Birmingham City goalkeeper, Hannah Hampton, was able to make a save and keep it a 0-0. And in fact, it was 0-0 at half time. Meyer nearly scored another great goal, actually cutting in from the left-hand side as she likes to do. Curled shot of her right foot, looking into the far corner, but it just went wide of the post. And despite Arsenal dominating the first half, Birmingham very rarely even got out of their own half. It was 0-0 at half time. Of course, a free scoring Arsenal team were struggling to score. But in the second half, it all came together for Arsenal. 57th minute, they took the lead. It was a cross from the left from Katie McCabe. Usually her deliveries are good, and this was no exception. And it was actually Caitlin Ford who nipped in to head the ball home from about 6 yards. It went in off the far post, and that put Arsenal women 1-0 up. And at that point onwards, it was just a matter of how many more goals they would score. It was just 5 minutes later when it was actually 2-0. It was a really good goal as well. It was Jill Rord who scored. It was a chip from the edge of the penalty area. A lovely finish, actually, as a superb goal into the top corner, leaving the goalkeeper with no chance at all. And that made it 2-0. And basically then Arsenal were in total control of this game. They kept having chances and couldn't quite get the third goal. And then with a few minutes to go, it was about 3 minutes to go, I think it was a shot from the substitute, Jordan Nobbs. She'd come off the bench. It was her shot. It actually struck the defender, Rachel Corrie, Rachel Corrie, the defender. It struck her arm. She was very, very close. It did seem quite a harsh decision. It's a sort of penalty that now with VAR tends to get given. But it was a very harsh decision, but it was given as another penalty. So Arsenal had their second penalty of the day. I know the Birmingham manager afterwards wasn't very happy about some of the decisions that went Arsenal's way, but it was another penalty. This time, Kim Little stepped up again for the second time, and this time she made no mistake. Penalty going in to the left-hand corner of the net. This time she did beat Hampton, and that sealed the victory. So in the end, the Arsenal women comfortably won this game 3-0. They maybe should have scored a few more goals, if we're totally honest. Should have really been 7 or 8, as has been the case in a number of games this season. Of course, Meyer, the record goal scorer in the WSL, didn't manage to add to her total in this game, surprisingly. Usually she scores nearly every game, doesn't she? But this time wasn't to be her day. But I say it was good to see some of the injured players come back, particularly Jordan Nobbs, who got a run out towards the end of the game. I say she was involved in the second penalty. So in terms of league table, I say Arsenal are now they're still 1 point behind leaders Manchester United. Of course, they won, didn't they? They beat Aston Villa to increase their unbeaten run this season, and they're still one point ahead at the top. And then Chelsea won as well. They beat West Ham 3-2 at home. Quite a close game there in the end. West Ham got a late goal back to make it 3-2, and it could have been a little bit of a nervy moment for Chelsea, but they won that game. So they are still 2 points behind Arsenal, and they do have a game in hand. Manchester City are now up to fourth after they won 3-0 away at Everton. Of course, Everton had a great start to the season, didn't they? But now they've been dropping down and are now in fourth place. But of course, Arsenal's next match is, against Manchester City, isn't it? This coming weekend. I am hoping to do a live watch along of that. Russ is in the chat as well. How you doing, Russ? Good to see you. Nitesh as well. How you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. So Arsenal play Manchester City this weekend. I am looking to do a watch along of that game. I know it's on BT Sport, so hopefully I can get a stream and I'll be able to watch that and do a watch along of that, because the last watch along, the game against Chelsea, went really well. So I'm hoping I can do that on this weekend. So stay tuned to the channel for that. The Arsenal women at the moment are the best Arsenal side to watch, actually. In terms of excitement, in terms of goals, and just the attacking play that they produce. So it's great to watch them as well. So I am going to try and get a watch along sorted out for that game, which is obviously ahead of the game against Burnley for the men as well on Sunday. So I'll be hopefully doing watch alongs of both of those games this weekend. So stay tuned to the channel for that. And coming up as well later on this evening, in about an hour, just over an hour, I'm doing my Premier League review show as well. That's going to be good, looking back on all the weekend matches in the Premier League, and also as well looking at the game tonight as well, between Brighton and Southampton, which usually wouldn't have much interest to us. But now, of course, a win for Brighton would take them ahead of us in the Premier League and drop us down to 16th. So we'll be looking out for that as well. And Russ said maybe we could swap Montemuro for Arteta. Well, I don't think the women would be happy with that swap, would they? Unfortunately, probably, I wouldn't imagine. But yeah, I mean, he's done a great job, hasn't he? They play some great football. That's why, there's some great attacking players. The top goal scorer in WSL history, of course, Miedemar, and other players, Beth Mead and Jordan Nobbs, etc. Really good players. Jill Rodby scoring goals. But the style of football that they play is great, isn't it? It is really attacking style, and they score a lot of goals. And yeah, imagine if that kind of coach was in charge of the men's at the moment. I wonder if it would be different in terms of the results. I'm not sure. The quality of the players, maybe. I would take Xhaka and Ozil for Pogba. Well, I don't know about that, but anyway. But yeah, so I say the Arsenal women, they're doing really well this season. Again, they are a great side to watch. So I am hoping to do a watch along at the weekend. So stay tuned for that. And so I am coming back in about an hour to do the Premier League review. We will be looking back a little bit at the Arsenal game, of course, yesterday. I know I've mentioned it already. Today I've done a video on it, but we are going to talk about that a little bit as well. Plus, I say all the other games as well. And I say the game tonight, which is an important game for Arsenal now. We don't need another dysfunctional midfielder. No, we don't. We've got enough of them already. Pogba tends to go missing just as much as Ozil does, doesn't he, generally? So I wouldn't necessarily think that would be what we need at the moment. I'll take a couple of these Arsenal women players, though, in our midfield. I think Kim Little would do a decent job, actually. Certainly, she'd give us a lot of energy. But we'll see. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Maybe one day. He's a transitional midfielder better than what we have. Well, is he better than what we have? I mean, is he better than Thomas Partey? I know Thomas Partey is injured at the moment, but is he better than Thomas Partey? Is he better than El Neni? Yes, he maybe is better than El Neni on his day, I suppose. But I don't know. I think we've got enough difficult players in our squad already without adding another one in. Pogba and Partey could look promising. Well, I think Maitland-Niles and Partey would look promising as well if Arteta ever decides to play them together. Maybe one day he might do, and we'll see how that works. But I say I'm doing a show on the Premier League a little bit later, so we can maybe talk about all these kind of stuff then, actually, because that would be quite good. But I say this is more about the Arsenal women, which I say don't maybe get enough coverage. I don't think. So I do try to cover their game. So I do apologise I didn't do this yesterday. I was a little bit busy and tied up with all that other stuff going on across North London, which was quite annoying in the end. But anyway, the Arsenal women, say they did win their game yesterday against Birmingham City 3-0. Good performance it was. They say they should have won by a lot more goals, if we're honest. In the end, 3-0 is a good victory, and it certainly keeps us in a very good, strong position in the league. Man United looking good, aren't they, this season? They've got some good players in their squad now, a good manager as well. So they're going to be difficult to catch. But all we can do is keep winning our games and hope that they drop points. I know they beat us, didn't they, a few weeks ago? Very disappointing performance that was from Arsenal on that particular day. So we just have to hope that maybe Chelsea can get some points off them, Man City can get some points off them, and then we can beat them when we play them at home. And then you never know. But it's going to be a tight title race, I think, between Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea this year. Man City are maybe a little bit outside at the moment. They could still pull it back. Obviously, we're playing them this weekend. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, no, exactly. I've loved watching the Arsenal women for a few years now, actually, and they've been really successful as well. And it's good, isn't it, for women's football in general? I think the WSL this year is as strong as it's ever been. Man United won the last one up to 5th. No, he's not doing so bad, is he? To be fair, but then he has got a lot of money and some good players, so it's not surprising, is it? If they could win at home, they could be real contenders, couldn't they? But I say we can maybe. I'm going to talk about that game, obviously, Man United and everything else a bit later on. So yeah, I mean that's that for now. So I just really wanted to catch up with the women because I didn't give them any coverage yesterday, and I did. I wish I'd had the chance to do it. Actually, unfortunately, I was about 4 hours on live streams yesterday, so I didn't get a chance, unfortunately, and I've been busy today. So I finally got that done. So yeah, did finish at Boreham with just the Arsenal women 3, Birmingham women 0. The goals came from Caitlin Ford was the first one with a header that went in off the post. The second was a great chip from Jill Roord, and then the last goal was a penalty from Kim Little, who she had actually missed a penalty a little bit earlier. Saw it saved in the first half, but she made amends with the third goal as well. So I say it keeps Arsenal second place, keep ticking over nicely in the league. And I say a really big game this weekend against Manchester City. Of course, Manchester City, one of the strong sides. They've been a bit inconsistent, haven't they, this season so far in the WSL, which is why they're down in 4th place. But it's going to be a massive game, isn't it? And a really big, important game for Arsenal to try and win. If Arsenal can win that game, then that's another of the contenders maybe out of the way, and it will be just a 3-horse race then for the title, won't it? So that's a big game next week. As I say, I will be hoping to get a live watch along done. It does depend on how easily I can get a stream of that game. I know it is on BT Sports. There's a good opportunity that I might be able to get some coverage of that, and then we can do a watch along on the channel, which would be great. And of course, I will be covering the Arsenal game against Burnley, the men's, on Sunday as well. We will watch along on that game. So, and also, of course, Thursday night, don't forget the Europa League game against Dundalk. I'll be doing a watch along for that one as well. It's an early kickoff, isn't it? 6 o'clock, I think. So, so that'll be good as well. Sure, we might see a few Arsenal goals again. It's the Europa League; they seem to save them for, don't they? So maybe they need to get the Arsenal women's coach come in and teach the Arsenal sort of forward players how to score goals, because at the moment they can't seem to do it, can they? They can maybe learn a thing or two off the women at the moment who are scoring goals for fun. They've got the best goal difference in the WSL this season, so, and another good 3-0 victory. So that's that stream there just on the Arsenal women yesterday. I say I'm back on in an hour doing the Premier League review show. I'm hoping to have a couple of guests on, actually. I'm just waiting for him to get back to me to confirm that everything's okay. Obviously, Paul Dawes, who's normally on, just making sure that he can come on later, and Albert might be popping on as well from Albert JTV. That could be good. So I say come back in about an hour for that. And in the meantime, of course, as always, we end the same way, nice and positive. It's good that we can be positive about an Arsenal performance with the women for a change. So I say come back in an hour for me Premier League review show. And in the meantime, of course, come on, you Gunners, come on, let's keep winning for the women, and let's hope the men can turn it around. So I'll see you guys in about an hour.